As I have been speaking about starting a new business, last week we completed Module 1 of starting a new business, and that is to do or not to do. Should you start a business? And in asking that question, we looked at about 50 different small business keywords, things that you need to think about if you want to start a new business. And I want to share with you two different articles that were sent to me as a result of somebody listening to what we were talking about. And the first one, and I don't know who sent it to me. It was in my inbox. Suppose I could investigate. Not important, but from entrepreneur.com. And you know that I love the magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine. I use it as a source guide. I use it to validate the ideas that I share with you, because if Entrepreneur Magazine is talking about them and SmallBizDavid is talking about them, we're doing the right thing. And so we're very encouraged by that. So I pick up a copy of the magazine whenever I am in a bookstore. Looking to see if I had any right near at hand. I'm sure I do. There's one. Actually, here's two of them. Entrepreneur Magazine. This particular one it's an older one. It's from March. Launch Your Company This Weekend was the cover story. And yes, a business can be launched. A business can be launched today. It doesn't have to be this weekend. A 54-hour crash course on how to craft, fund, and pitch your idea. And then in July, the cover story was Build Your Dream Business. How to follow your passion. You hear me talk about passion. Actually, I probably should refer to some stories in there with you. Entrepreneur Magazine is a great publication, and they also have a wonderful website, entrepreneur.com, and I get emails, and it's good information. But today, somebody sent me 4 ways to stop making excuses and follow your passion. What an appropriate title. This is a blog by, the problem with these things, I can't even tell you who it's by. It's done in very light ink, and I can't read it. Sorry about that, but it is from entrepreneur.com. In an email I got today. 4 ways to stop making excuses and follow your passion. Remember waking up before dawn to jump into the lake at summer camp. Summer camp, which I did a couple years. Jumped into a wonderful lake in Pelican Lake, Wisconsin. Now that I think about it, it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago this summer, I jumped into a lake at a camp in Pelican Lake, Wisconsin. The hardest part was the moment right before you jumped, when you knew the water would be freezing cold, but didn't yet trust that you'd acclimate. For would-be entrepreneurs who want to follow their passion but haven't made the leap, the fears about starting a new business can feel just like that at the frigid early morning water. guess that could be the case, and I guess that's part of its fear of the unknown, although in the case of jumping into cold water, you know the water's going to be cold. When you start a business, you don't quite know exactly what's going to happen. You know you have a passion. You know you have a desire. And do you remember what I said last week that goes along with passion, 2 other P's? Persistence. The equation, the equivalent of jumping into the water would be that you would jump in the water, instead of getting out right away, you would stay with it, and you'd stay, and you'd start to swim a little bit, and then you'd find out in time your body temperature would warm up. I, in fact, jump into some water 3 mornings a week at 5 o'clock in the morning. That water is actually in the main area of the pool. It's 82 degrees. But in preparation for me to jump in that, I go into a whirlpool where the temperature of the water there is about 104 degrees. So it elevates my body temperature very quickly, so that 82 degree water, which is 22 degrees less, is actually not such a shock to my system. So I've prepared myself. I know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen the first time that I took that leap. I was told that the water was 82 degrees, but I didn't know how 82 degrees was necessarily going to, how my body was going to react to that. It sounds warm, but upon entering the water, it isn't really warm. Well, I guess I should qualify that statement and say it has to do with my body temperature. But it's an interesting analogy about jumping into some water for the first time and starting a business. You've heard me say that I was very, very fortunate when I started my first business because I had already bought a business, and I had been a partner in another business with somebody else's money, not my own, but I was a working partner in the business. So when I started the business, it wasn't quite the same. I knew what it was to be deeply involved in business, because by the time I started my first business, I had already been in business for about 7 years, 8 years. I bought a business. That's one way to get started. You can buy a business. You can buy an existing business. There's certainly advantages to that. The business is operating. It has customers. It has a manner of operation. Hopefully it has a good system in place, good processes in place. If it doesn't, you might buy that business with the intent of changing the system, changing the processes to make it better. But you like the business idea, you like the objective of the business, be it marketing and selling a product or marketing and selling a service. So that's one way you could go. You could buy an existing business. Another way to buy an existing business is to buy into a franchise. You can buy into franchises, I'm sure, for as little as $25, and I'm sure you can buy into a franchise for several $1 million. I don't know what it costs to buy a McDonald's franchise today. I knew what it cost years ago when I knew several folks that had bought McDonald's franchises. But the idea about a franchise is that it's a proven business model. It works. If it didn't work, the franchisor could not sell the franchise idea to the franchisee. So it's a proven business model. Or you can do some research, look around and say, geez, I have this idea that things could be done better than they are being done right now based upon options and choices that consumers, other businesses need to make. Things could be done better. And you have that better idea. So you nurture that idea. You test that idea. You talk to folks to see if that idea might work. You get some mentoring on that idea. Incidentally, mentoring is going to be a major concept in David's Barter, is a major concept in David's Barter community because of the idea of small business collaboration. Small business collaboration is the new business model whereby small businesses either starting or small businesses that are in existence collaborate. They work together with other small businesses that are either starting or are in operation. Small businesses need to work together with other small businesses so that together the combined effort can help each one of the businesses individually, but together a new business entity is formed that will bring some type of value to the marketplace. So it's about small business collaboration. One form of small business collaboration is bartering. That's really why we took on the name David's Barter. We don't formally barter as such in the community. I don't require that when people barter with other members of the community that they record, that they pay a fee to get in and then pay additional monies when a bartering arrangement is put together. That was never my intent. My intent was to create the mindset of barter. That's not to say you shouldn't do those things, because you should do those things as an existing business, as a business just getting started. I read a story a couple years ago about a restaurant in New York City, of all places, that opened their entire operation, their entire business, by bartering, so that all the various aspects of supplies, of menus, whatever it might be, tables, chairs, china, stemware, whatever it might be, they bartered so that the party with whom they were bartering got something in return, and that's probably meals and food and eating at the restaurant. But it was an interesting story, and they bartered, I think I read, if I remember correctly, that they bartered as much as $200,000 to get their restaurant open. Now, they didn't take cash out of their pocket. However, they had to report to the Internal Revenue Service that they bartered and what was the value of that barter deal. And in fact, it worked into their income taxes in that year that they bartered. So in our community, I encourage bartering, but I don't want to know the details of that barter agreement. I don't want to know, because if you tell me, then I'm going to have to bookkeep that, and for sure the IRS is going to come to me and ask me what I know about that barter deal, and that's Too much information, too much work. So, bartering is one form. Mentoring is another form of small business collaboration. A mentor, as Brian Tracy and Michael Gerber became my mentors, but we had never met. They became my mentors because I read as much about as many books of theirs as I could. I listened to their audio tapes. I researched whatever, because I learned a great deal of information from those individuals. Mentoring is another form of small business collaboration, and in fact, I just completed a letter that I am going to be sending out for the first time, probably to 500 people, and it's asking those folks to become a charter lifetime member as a mentor of entrepreneurship in the SmallBizDavid Foundation. And I am in fact seeking 10,000 mentors who, as part of the experience, the mentoring experience, will mentor 10,000 other people to start a business. How exciting is that? Somebody's in a video room. I don't know how to use that room. Okay,